Jake Paul and Mike Tyson now have been suspended from boxing after controversial fight in Texas. Now, why, you may ask? Now, I didn't know this, okay?
Breaking news. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul have just been arrested after their highly anticipated showdown turned into one of the most outrageous spectacles in boxing history. What was supposed to be an epic clash has taken an unexpected and shocking turn. Stay tuned for all the explosive details.
The whole thing was scripted. The whole thing was just a money grab. And for a lot of us that love Mike, and despite what he said in that interview with the girl about the legacy, we love him and his legacy, and we didn't like what we saw last.
What unfolded was nothing short of a disaster, a cringe-worthy display of slow-made punches, bizarre antics, and a blatant cash grab that had nothing to do with real boxing. And just when you thought it couldn't get any weirder, Jake Paul landed a Netflix deal out of it. How did this mess even happen? Let's break it all down.
Jake Paul just got Netflix sued. People got a big problem with this stream cut now.
But hey, the joke's on them now. After turning boxing into a circus for a quick payday, they're finally getting what they deserve. For years, they've thrown shame on the sport, and now the law has stepped into the ring. Trust me, this is one knockout they never saw coming. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul typed it up as a battle of epic proportions, but what unfolded shocked the world in the worst way possible.
A 28-year-old kid who, used to be a YouTuber, and he's worked hard to learn boxing. He really has. He's come along. But really, he's still not of that level.
I mean, seriously, Mike Tyson, the legendary former heavyweight champ, stepping into the ring with Jake Paul, a guy best known for making viral videos? This was hyped up as the greatest spectacle in boxing history. But did it live up to the buzz? Not even close.
You can be mad, it was free. We all got Netflix anyway, right? And you got to watch the girls fight. The girls fight was good. I know a lot of people were pissed, but it was a bit of a shit show. But what did you expect? Seriously, when you stayed home and you turned on Netflix that night, we were like, holy I'm about to see the greatest live sporting event of all time.
What we got instead was a sad, slow-moving circus act. Tyson, at 58, looked like he just stepped out of a retirement home. His punches were sluggish, his footwork was nowhere to be found, and that legendary fire in his eyes, let's be real, it was probably just a trick of the lights.
Tyson 7 of 34, 18%. So Tyson is averaging more punches than he did in that fight with McBride and in the exhibition against Roy Jones, where he averaged 24 punches around.
Like I said, I don't like the pet that keep messing with that mouthpiece.
Oh, left hook, triple left hook by Paul. He wobbled Tyson.
Mike's hurt.
And then there's Jake Paul, strutting in like he's some kind of boxing prodigy, acting as if he's spent years training with the world's elite. Let's be real, the guy probably learned half his moves from YouTube tutorials while calling out anyone who couldn't resist the clout chase. His big claim to fame? Beating up washed-up fighters who are mere shadows of their former selves.
You can't fight like 2 days in a row.
Wasn't the Tyson-Jake fight, wasn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And the real comedy gold? The payouts. Tyson strolls off with a cool $20 million, while Jake Paul bags an eye-popping $40 million. Yes, you heard that right. $40 million for a fight that looked more like two grandpas squabbling over the last slice of pizza. If this is the future of boxing, all we can say is, bravo.
At any point, did you start to take your foot off the gas just a little bit because you noticed he was tiring out?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a bit. I wanted to give the fans a show, but I didn't want to hurt someone that didn't need to be hurt.
And then came the bombshell. DJ Woo, kids spilling the tea that the fighters were told not to go full throttle. Seriously? Was this a fight or a playground scuffle between 6-year-olds? Tyson and Jake Paul, both looking like they were pushing 80, were apparently told to take it easy. This wasn't a boxing match. It was a staged performance, with instructions to not hit too hard. A circus act, with Tyson and Paul playing the clowns. But the real drama didn't end in the ring. Oh no, it's moved to the courtroom. What started as light sparring has turned into a full-blown legal brawl. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson are now battling lawsuits and allegations from the International Boxing Association, IBA. The charge? Orchestrating what's being called the scripted fight heard around the world. Rigging fights has become the buzzword in uproar.
I mean, if you didn't think that that's the way the fight, I don't know what people expected. You know, Mike's almost 60 years old. He's Mike Tyson, but he's 60 years old. And he knew that Jake Paul couldn't do anything to him. So you knew what you were going to get.
It's all thanks to the leaked script that sent fans into a frenzy. Rumors of a pre-planned fight script started swirling, and the internet completely exploded. According to these so-called leaks, Tyson was allegedly set to hold back in the ring, starting slow and deliberately underperforming to appear past his prime. The twist? It was all designed to let Jake Paul steal the spotlight. How convenient. Or should we say, how adorable.
Mike Tyson could have knocked him out there. Jake Paul's chin was wide open, but then Mike Tyson realized, just as he was about to throw that punch, that, oh no, I'm getting paid lots of money, I can't knock him out. So ridiculous, mate. This video has been sent to me so many times, it's went viral. People saying that Mike Tyson could have knocked him out. See, it was a scam, it was a script.
Mike Tyson is in some serious hot water. The legendary baddest man on the planet is now under fire, accused of playing along in this grand spectacle. And it's not just social media coming for him. Tyson could even face legal trouble, with whispers of potential arrest for allegedly throwing a fight for a payday. Talk about drama.
What we saw last night seemed like something that very much tarnished his legacy for a little bit of bread, you know? And somebody will say, oh, 20 million, that's not a little bit of money. Well, you know, I was talking to my man Isaiah Washington earlier, and he was breaking it down as far as like...
In fact, whispers are swirling that even Tyson's legendary status might not be enough to shield him from the fallout. Was he a victim of circumstance, an accomplice to the spectacle, or just a legend looking to cash in one last hefty paycheck? We don't know the full story yet, but one thing is clear. Tyson's legacy hangs in the balance, and the stakes couldn't be higher.
He wasn't even good at the end, and now he's 58, and he's been living the kind of life he's been living. How's he going to have a chance? I'm putting everything on Paul. I'm laying 180. I think it was 180 he was getting. It was two. I think it went up to minus 220, whatever, but it was minus 180. I'm putting everything on.
Jake Paul might be riding high after that massive payday, but now he's stepping into a whole new ring. The courtroom. Imagine this. Jake Paul, the self-proclaimed problem child of boxing, facing a very different kind of fame. Sure, he thrives on controversy, but this might be one scandal too many. The legal system could come down hard on him, and depending on how this plays out, it could be a career-defining or career-ending moment. Both Jake and Tyson have dragged boxing's reputation through the mud, leaving fans questioning whether the sport is still authentic or just another act in the showbiz circus. Watching the fight footage, it's hard not to laugh. Tyson, once a knockout king feared for his devastating punches, looked more like he was searching for his car keys than landing blows. And Jake? His defense felt more like a modeling audition than actual boxing, throwing half-hearted punches as if he were rehearsing for a role in a Rocky reboot. Let's be honest, this wasn't a fight for the ages. It was a cringe-worthy spectacle that left fans shaking their heads.
Mike has his one move he's known for, and like he gets in the pocket, goes low and gets in, and he did that and had a clear opening on Jake, and Jake went like this, and Mike just didn't hit him, and that's the video I'm seeing everywhere, but I remember in the
Show
moment.
me that, pull that. You'll probably watch it if it's short.
But yeah, I agree, Dan. I think it's more of just like they agreed to.
It's a show fight.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of what they do.
But seriously? What's more entertaining than watching the so-called biggest fight in recent boxing history spiral into an awkward spectacle? It's like a high-budget comedy where everyone's in on the joke, except the fans. The best part? Everyone walks away with fat paychecks for what looks more like acting than actual boxing. Who needs authenticity when you've got drama, right?
Requested the 2-minute rounds, wanting to see more action. He just landed the overhand right, testing the beard of Paul early.
And everybody was saying, "Oh, nice shot by Jake Paul."
Right hand by Paul, that is.
Mike Tyson? A man who once ruled the ring with unmatched power, now reduced to allegedly playing out a scripted routine for a paycheck? And Jake Paul, the undisputed king of social media drama, continues to turn any spectacle into a cash cow, flexing for his followers at every turn. This wasn't a boxing match, it was a production. Too bad we all unknowingly bought tickets to the circus. What's worse, this fight isn't standing alone. Reports of other scripted bouts are surfacing, raising a bigger question. Is this the new normal for combat sports? Are we as fans supposed to accept that entertainment now takes precedence over real competition? If so, where does that leave the soul of sportsmanship?
Last Friday's big ringside fight could be heading to court. A Florida man has filed a $50 million lawsuit against Netflix claiming breach of contract.
Tyson and Paul might have just ignited a legal wildfire after Netflix's live-streamed fight turned into a tech disaster. Fans were left furious, demanding refunds over a stream plagued with issues, constant buffering, crashes, and low-quil video during the fight's most crucial moments. But believe it or not, that wasn't even the worst part. Oh no, the real drama goes deeper.
In breaking news, streaming giant Netflix is being issued a class action in relation to the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight. TMZ reports the lawsuit is over streaming issues and a breach of contract.
The real drama unfolded when Netflix found itself slammed with class action lawsuits accused of deceptive practices and breach of contract. Fans aren't just upset, they're demanding refunds, and they're not holding back. The gloves are off, and this fight isn't in the ring, it's in the courtroom.
But yeah, I agree, Dan. I think it's more of just like they agreed to.
It's a show fight.
It's a
This
show
is kind of
fight.
what they do.
Yeah.
It's the same thing when Mayweather
Like
fought Logan. It was like obvious. But yeah, I mean, listen, Mike Tyson's old as f. I think you're right. They decided because I don't think Mike was ever going to hurt Jake, probably.
Social media went into overdrive, with clips dissecting every punch and critics calling out how Tyson's sluggish performance didn't exactly line up with his intense training videos. Fans are speculating it was all a setup, a carefully staged act to protect both fighters' reputations. Tyson's legendary legacy, and Jake Paul's manager was quick to dismiss the allegations, calling them baseless. Still, let's be real, once rumors of rigging start swirling, they're nearly impossible to shake. And for fans, the question remains, was this a true battle or just another well-rehearsed show?
Everybody who, got in and getting ready for, something magical, something historic, whatever. I just want to say the same thing I say to myself. Hello, suckers. Hello, suckers. Myself included.
Boxing fans were outraged, and honestly, who can blame them? What was billed as a thrilling clash between two fighters felt more like a scripted performance, dripping with drama fit for reality TV. Hardcore fans saw through the act immediately, and their disappointment was loud and clear. This wasn't the authentic showdown they were promised. It was something else entirely, and their frustration was impossible to ignore.
The whole thing was scripted. The whole thing was just a money grab. And for a lot of us that love Mike, and despite what he said in that interview with the girl about the legacy, we love him and his legacy, and we didn't like what we saw last.
The script didn't just spoil the fight. It ignited fans' skepticism into full-blown outrage. And honestly, who could blame them? The integrity of a sport built on grit, sacrifice, and raw competition seemed to be tossed aside for the sake of social media clout and padded bank accounts. Social media exploded with memes, rants, and endless debates over the fight's legitimacy. Hardcore boxing fans felt utterly betrayed, insisting they'd been duped, while casual viewers found themselves torn. Should they celebrate Jake Paul's victory or admit they may have just been part of the world's most expensive?
Jake should fight somebody
Jake's like
his own
6'1".
size, his own age. Just enough. Who knows how to box?
I want to see him do MMA with Conor McGregor. I've seen that thrown around
He
too.
would never agree to that.
I think he's been wanting. I think he's challenged him.
No shot he would do that.
And then there's Jake Paul. This entire fiasco has put his influencer boxer persona on shaky ground. Can he recover from this, or will fans always see him as just a YouTube star playing dress-up in boxing gloves? The jury's still out, but one thing is clear. This controversy isn't boosting his reputation. In fact, it might have dealt a serious blow to his credibility, leaving his carefully crafted image hanging by a thread.
Conspiracy theorists argue that Tyson, now 58, took the fight for the $20 million payday and let Paul have an easy victory. After all, Tyson is well past his prime, hadn't fought in years. Some even claim Tyson wasn't attacking at all, making it seem like the whole thing was staged for Paul to get a win over a legendary boxer.
Then there's Tyson's legacy, a name once synonymous with dominance and fearlessness in the ring. Now, he's under fire, accused of selling out. The very reputation that made him a legend is being called into question, leaving fans to wonder, has the Iron Mike they admired become just another player in a scripted spectacle? What was once a legacy carved in stone now feels precariously close to being rewritten.
The whole thing was scripted. The whole thing was just a money grab. And for a lot of us that love Mike, and despite what he said in that interview with the girl about the legacy, we love him and his legacy. And we didn't like what we saw last night. What we saw last night seemed like something that very much tarnished his legacy.
From a legendary champion to the centerpiece of a Netflix-style drama, could this be the final blow to Iron Mike's reputation? Many fans feel blindsided, not by a knockout, but by a sense of betrayal. The bigger question looming over the sport is this: has boxing traded its authenticity for entertainment? As influencer boxing takes center stage, more fans are left wondering if the sport is selling its soul for a payday. The boundary between pure competition and manufactured spectacle is fading, and it's happening faster than Jake Paul's most hyped punch. The question isn't just whether this shift is real, but how much further it will go. So, did Tyson and Paul rig their fight? Maybe not, but the rumors are so irresistible that they're keeping this controversy alive and kicking. As both fighters try to weather the backlash, one thing is certain: this fight will be remembered, but for all the wrong reasons.